What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Disaster News. I'm your Puxatawny Phil of protons passing through you. Papa Disaster. Jumping right in. February 6th, we had a spike in the KP around midnight to 3 a.m. Now, due to the overwhelming response from emails and messages of how many of you didn't sleep well that night, it's not a coincidence. Now, for those of you that do not get this, ask a friend. If you see someone that didn't sleep well, maybe suggest them to come over here to Disaster News. Like and subscribe and keep coming back, because we're going to dig deeper and deeper into this until hopefully we can find out some things, because this solar maximum is coming. Over the next 5-6 years, these events are going to increase and they're going to be more intense. And if we can come here and discuss these things in an open forum and come up with maybe some ideas on how to protect ourselves from these upcoming solar events. Now, I want to get into this real fast. Yesterday, I talked about electrons and protons that pass through us and how NASA studied that due to the astronauts in space. Now, for us here on the planet, it's a whole different story. They have done a study, earthing, health implications of reconnecting the human body to the Earth's surface electrons, basically grounding out. Now, it's kind of cold outside, so you can't go rub your toes in the sand soon. But you can go out and touch a tree, touch the ground, ground yourself out a little bit. It does help. It does help. Now, I know this because I've been doing this for some time, but it's not the easiest topic to be discussing. That the sun makes you feel a certain way, and boy, what do we do about it? Because, somebody put a bunch of stuff in a little bottle, and every day when you watch the dummy box tells you that, are you feeling this way or that? I wonder when those commercials come on, because we know about anywhere between 24 and 48 hours ahead of time that this weather comes. So pound the commercials for getting your little happy pill on when they know that that's coming in. Be curious to look that up. But what we are going to look up right now is how those electrons in this test kind of prove something. Right here, I just jotted some things down last night. With addiction, with Adderall, with your ADHD, with your Prozac to bring you down, you got people on speeders and you got people on downers. Are the people that are born during the solar maximum more prone to be addicted to downers, and the people in the solar minimums more prone to be addicted to an upper or have ADHD, Adderall, things of that nature? Because what this study has shown that the disconnect is a major contributor to the physiological dysfunction and unwellness of the humans. Now, you go over the past 24 to 34 hours and you see how you felt, you kept notes, and then you messaged us and you said, hey, was anything going on? And then I said, yes, this happened. And then we woke up that morning, achy, pain. It was just didn't sleep well at all. And then yesterday, just totally agitated. I was only here doing research and recording the videos and just agitated for no reason. There was just At the same time, somebody said that they had a tightness on this side of their head. Wasn't a headache. It was just something they noticed. Another person said that the tones in their ears did shift going into the twilight, that dusk to dawn. It's called twilight. Those energies inside there are real. Talk about them in ancient times. This is a thing that we need to start refreshing our memory on, so that we do not make the same mistakes and not have the wool pulled over your eyes by those that want to control you more. Those that keep this information from us are using all of this in order to have a better control system in place. Some of these things, the bioefficiency of geomagnetic activity in the period during the COVID-19 pandemic. They're doing studies on that. Solar maximum, solar minimum. What are these readings that are coming in during this pandemic? Whew, it's all out there, man. We just got to find it. Now, this brings up the question. That leads me to the Vedic astrological mapping that shows when you were born, what was going on, and during that time, and how you may come out as a human. Because they kept track of things like this a long time ago, like we do not do now, as far as the masses go. And that got me thinking, what are the specific genetic markers? They've mapped them all. We are not all the same. We are all genetically different, like it or not. Our brains are not the same. Our insides are not the same. We have genetic markers that make us different. That's why we have different blood types. If you try to get a liver, you got to match up. If you get a heart, you got to match up. We're not all created equal, or equally created, I guess. We're all the damn same. We're just not the same. Convoluted it is. Caltech did a study, and they found that the electrons use DNA like a wire for signaling inside the DNA. So in the double helix It's connecting, the electrons pass through one side of the helix, pick up some stuff, and go to the other side and drop it off. Kind of interesting. But what in that showed that a key protein is required for replicating DNA, depending on the electrons that pass through this DNA. So that also causes mutations occur from this bombardment or the lack thereof during the solar maximum, during the solar minimum. When you're born, your DNA is forming. You're being bombarded by the electrons and protons during a certain time with the alignments of the planets and the extra energy and protons and electrons that may come from that. Not to mention a stray proton burst from somewhere smacking the planet at the time you're born. Wonder if that's what happened when Tesla was born. Huh. I'm going to put links below so that you can go and check this stuff out yourself. But for those of you that do not have the time, like most of us here in America, we're too damn busy. We're just too damn busy. But you can't be too busy for your own health. So you can come back here. First, every day, go to Suspicious Observers, check him out, see what the space weather is going to be like, or what the weather was like the night before. Go to Suspicious Observers, check him out in the mornings, and then that way you'll have a good idea of what I'm talking about when you come over here and we start to make that connection. And for some of you, you've made that connection. The emails and messages that we got were greatly appreciated. It helps confirm that what we're doing is on the right track, especially when it comes to the humans' reaction to the bombardment from the sun. At any given time. More importantly for epileptics, these bombardments are one thing when it happens to someone that does not have epilepsy, and it is totally different when it happens with someone that does have epilepsy. And if you have a loved one that had a problem sleeping through the night, maybe woke up a little restless and it didn't affect you, send them over here. We need to find more options. There needs to be more options, and we need more information. And the only way to gather information is for everyone that is feeling these feels each day to drop us an email, let us know what you're thinking, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling. And then we can compare it to these things and we can grow together in helping each other to understand what the effects are doing to us as humans, and more importantly, our behavior, the way we see things, the way we understand things. And here we can bring all of that together and hopefully and start sorting out this cluster of a situation that we are finding ourselves in right now before we head into the solar maximum. And if you are going through recovery, if you are going through some type of recovery, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Send me an email with the information, and I'll look, and I'll let you know what I find. Doesn't mean that this is not peer reviewed. This isn't super science. Like I've said before, this is just a guy that loves a woman that has epilepsy, and this is where we've come to. This is the road we've been on, getting to this point so that our daily life and our relationship has grown to this point, to be happier, just to be happier. And if you are going through an addiction, check this out. Send me that info. Email's right here. I will look. There is a connection there, and I'll try my best to give you a straight answer on what I find. And with that, I hope you do come back tomorrow. This is a safe place and a good place to have a discussion over these type of things. And we'll cover everything at Disaster News. That's coming up soon. What would you put in yours? Send us an email and let us know. Maybe we'll include it in there. Man, safe travels, everyone. I hope you learned something today. And if you didn't, come back tomorrow and I'll try again. And remember this. We can consume the idiot's lies, or the lies will consume us idiots. We're all in this together, man. Safe travels, everyone. Peace.